Alright, welcome to Sonic Sunday School, and this week we're going to talk about a guitar that I've had in my life for about 20 years. I know it's considered a beginner starter guitar by a lot of people, but it's actually very dear to my heart. This is the Yamaha Pacifica. I have played this in many gigs, countless jams with other people. It has been used on recordings. It has done some lessons and countless hours jamming in my room. Now, to be honest, it wasn't this Yamaha Pacifica. I have one that I bought somewhere in the mid-90s, mid-late 90s, somewhere in there. And I played that guitar almost to death. I mean, it was my beater guitar before I decided to buy a really cheap beater guitar. But it was the guitar I took just to practice, to gigs, to jams with other people, and it was the guitar that sat out most of the time and just got played. I don't know, just became the guitar that felt like home, and I think it's because I spent so much time with it. So, I mean, that makes sense. But while they're considered beginner guitars, and they're priced at a beginner guitar level, I have used the Yamaha Pacifica 112 in just about every conceivable situation you could use an electric guitar in, that you would use an electric guitar. Get your mind out of the gutter. And it has come through with flying colors every time. I've never had an issue with this guitar. Or at least with this model. I had finally, a year and a half, 2 years ago, decided to retire that guitar, that Yamaha, simply because I was wearing the frets down. I had played it so much, so I just went on, I don't remember what website, I couldn't even tell you what dealer, and ordered another Yamaha Pacifica in the same color. And the only thing that's really different as far as appearance is the Pacifica that's written on the headstock. It's printed on this, and it's like cursive writing on the original one. Now, the neck is way different than my original one. This neck is a lot thicker, more of a pronounced C shape. The other one was kind of a shallow C shape. The radius seems to be the same. It's like 13 and a half, if memory serves me correctly. And one of the things that drew me to this guitar in the first place was I always liked like Stevie Ray Vaughan's Strat and Nuno Betancourt's guitar, how they have that worn-in look, and I thought, oh, this has got raw wood, and I'll eventually get that kind of look. Well, I didn't. What I ended up doing was the guitar looks the same now as it did when it was new. Even dents and scratches don't show up. But one thing that I did do was with my arm while playing it, this is all shiny and polished from just, years of playing. So everywhere that, instead of being discolored like, Nuno's Washburn, it's just shiny now and doesn't look matte, where you still have like a matte finish here and places you don't touch very often. Here it's just completely like gloss, almost like glass, and that's kind of funny. The only thing that I ever worried about on this guitar was the nut. It's a plastic nut, but honestly I've never had any problems. So, I'm just going to play it until something happens, and if something happens to the nut, put a new nut on it. But, this is my new Pacifica, and it sounds pretty much the same. I've gotten used to the neck now. having the radius be the same and being able to get the action the same was really helpful. And, being honest, it's not like this is a baseball bat compared to like an Ibanez Wizard neck. We're talking about maybe an eighth of an inch difference. But when you're so used to a neck and so comfortable with one, when you grab something else that looks just like it, but it feels different, you're like, wait, what? So that's why the comment about the neck being so different. It just wasn't what I was used to. Everything's stock on the original Yamaha and this one. And actually I have a TV on right now, which I can turn that off. But no hum in any of the positions. There's a little bit of 60 cycle hum, which is normal, what you would expect, but it's not, overbearing. On stage, at concert volumes, there's never been an issue. I've never had a problem. And it plays. I just like the way they play. I mean, we're talking about a 13.5 inch radius, so it's very much suited for shredding. There's no problems with this guitar. And at $200, I think they're really a deal. Of course, I have the tremolo locked down like I do on everything. But, we've got an alder body, rosewood fingerboard, maple neck, Yamaha tuners, and they've all been fine. I did have a problem. I guess here is a problem. And let me see if I have that handy. Yes. I had one tuner just utterly fall apart. I was restringing the guitar and it just broke. Hold on just a moment. Okay, so this tuner just, the whole post just came right out of the bass. Luckily I had some tuners from another guitar that were identical to the ones on here, and I just swapped one out and everything's been fine. I've never seen a tuner fail like this, and I don't know, I've just never seen it happen, and I've been playing for a really long time, and I've got close to 70 guitars now, and I've had all kinds of things break. I've had guitars fall over, but I've never had a tuner break like that, so that was really weird. I was just restringing it. It was the A string, and as I was turning it, it just got super hard and then just snapped. I was like, what? It wasn't loose, or it just bound up in here somehow and then just snapped, and all of that like weld right around here just came right apart. So that is, in 20 years, the only problem I've ever had with the Yamaha Pacifica. And as much as my original Yamaha's been through, that's saying a lot, because that guitar, I didn't immediately bond with it like I've bonded with this model now, because at first I had bought it to be like the beater guitar. It was the guitar that I was going to treat like crap and let it get all beat up and look cool and whatnot. Well, so I did. I drug it around, and not literally, but I took it to all kinds of jams with other people. I used to be really active and go and jam with other people all the time, and I just took that guitar all over the place, go to open jams and things like that. And that was always the guitar that I took with me, because I didn't care what happened to it. And it wasn't until much later, when I'd been playing it for so long, that I was like, you know what, this guitar always delivers. I just don't have any problems with it. So I just started getting sentimental about it, I guess. And when my original one, I started looking at it and I was like, if I keep playing it at the rate I'm playing it, I've only got a few years left in this neck. And unfortunately, it, while looks like a standard S-type guitar, the neck joint is different dimensions than, like, you can't just buy a Fender replacement neck and slap it in here. It won't fit. Something has to be modified. And I don't know that I want to mess with it, especially when you can buy a brand new one for $200. So, it's kind of silly to go to someone like Warmoth or USA Custom Guitars and buy a $200 or $300 neck to put on a guitar that only costs $200. Just go buy a brand new one. I mean, I understand the whole sentimental thing. That's why I still have one, and I kept it, because, it does have some sentimental value. It's gone through all kinds of stuff with me, but I wanted to be able to continue to play the guitar, or play a guitar just like it. So I ordered another one, and now I have that again. And I'll get, countless years out of this one, I'm sure. And I just wanted to make this little video in appreciation of the Yamaha Pacifica, because most of the videos I see where this guitar is reviewed, they talk about it only as a beginner guitar, only as a student's instrument. And it's really much more than that if you're willing to put, I don't know if, you don't really have to put the time into it, but it didn't need modified. It just sounds good on its own. Stays in tune. It's a good sounding guitar. Like I said, I've used it in all kinds of situations, and I've never been disappointed in it. I've never come home after a gig or a recording and gone, oh, I wish I wouldn't have used that Yamaha. It's just never been something I've thought or said. It always feels comfortable to me. Whoever designed this body must have similar length arms and everything that I do, because it just feels, where the cutouts are, everything is just right. Putting an arm where I would on a normal Strat is a little higher up. This is, a little farther back. This cutout's a little bigger than it would be on a Strat. And I appreciate that when I'm playing higher up on the neck. So there's just, a lot of little things that whoever designed this, for me, in my opinion, got right. And, like I said, I'm very happy with it. I would like to maybe pick up one of the 112Vs just to see what the difference is, but I haven't had a reason to. I almost did when I was retiring my original Pacifica, but I ended up just getting another one just like it. And they're nice guitars. I haven't changed the pickups or anything on it. It is stock, and my original one stayed stock for, the whole 15-20 years I was playing it, in countless situations. But I just enjoy it. And yeah, hope you liked the video. If you have one, I hope you like it as much as I like mine. And I'll catch you next time. Thanks.